How you doing, guys? This is my 1.4 precedent for the Echo Residences. And you'll see here it was built in 2021 in Bordeaux, France by Duncan Lewis. And there's some of the stats. Got 49 units, and it's a multi-unit residential from T1 to T5. So getting on a little narrative, this project really focuses around sustainability, green space, and really connectivity and accessibility. The area is really a transportation hub, and it's a very cool neighborhood, which I'll get into in a little bit more. But they really wanted to kind of maximize indoor-outdoor space with this vertical garden and give their residents a nice green feel. So here's the site diagram, and you can see Bastide Neal is the neighborhood area that Echo is located in. It's a really cool kind of urban feel, and you can see just across the bridge you've got kind of the main city center of Bordeaux. So great location there, very similar to our site in LA actually. Bastide Neal is a 35-hectare expansion of Bordeaux city center. It's right on the Gardone River, and it really focuses on high-density, sustainable builds. There's over 3,200 homes, 25,000 square meters for retail, as well as 25,000 square meters for offices. And yeah, it was an adaptive reuse. A lot of them are actually old warehouses, barracks, or railway embankments, but it's pretty neat site. So yeah, touching on that, great spot for transit, tram lines, bus routes, bicycle and pedestrian paths, train access, and most importantly though, the neighborhood features a narrow network of streets that were designed for safe and balanced traffic. Also similar to what we're planning on doing in LA, where we're kind of controlling primary versus secondary streets and making the roadway a nicer place for pedestrians as well. The Darwin ecosystem is another kind of community and business within the Bastide Neal ecosystem. And it features a bunch of co-working and office spaces, as well as cultural and social spaces such as art galleries, exhibitions, music events, stuff like that. And they really focus on sustainable practices, kind of going along with this whole Bastide Neal community. So by fostering collaboration between businesses, artists, community organizations, the Darwin ecosystem has become a landmark for sustainable urban living and innovation. Here are my floor plans. I tried to figure out how to move my little camera down here, but I couldn't work it out. But you guys have my slides as well. So the real emphasis here was the modularity of the units. They're all designed in the same kind of footprint, long, narrow. They've got one single loaded corridor on one side, and then the balconies that reach out into the vertical garden on the other side. And with that comes kind of a decent high density layout there. And really what stood out to me most was the emphasis on the community space. That vertical garden takes it away and is really focused. So here are my sections. As well, you're going to get better views in the slides. But there's a lot of ample light with skylights, as well as that whole western face of the building is a glass facade, really. So with that, there's that big connection to nature. Almost really a quarter of the building is this outdoor kind of environmental community space. And then there's also a few different unit plans. As you can see, the building has two different heights on the back versus the front. So you'll see there's some higher section and then the lower section. So this is the garden facade that I've really been discussing the most. It's a great example of how architecture can balance life with nature and really just brings a lot of green space into the build. So my key ideas, main thing here was the ecological and sustainable design. Fast Ideal really is pushing that with their community. It's a diverse housing typology. You know, while the front side is single loaded corridor, you also have this very interesting western facade, uh, which they chose to go with, and you can also actually access from that side as well. Um, Transportation and accessibility is great. Location, great. They're definitely playing into that. Same with the community engagement and open spaces, playing along with this whole Bastide Neal community. It's a real social interaction, and they're playing into that. Um, and kind of the same with the response to urban pressures. It's tight. They want to get as much people as they can in a relatively small footprint, so build up. All right, well, that was my 1.4. Thank you. And then here are my sources.